Alright, hey everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to The King's Speech. So we're going to dive into Akane-Banashi Chapter 12 straight away here. Like I mentioned in the other videos, quick TLDR for the channel stuff. Expect channel updates sometime next week. I'm going to try to get up to Chapter 15 of Akane-Banashi today. And then hopefully throughout the week I'll catch up with the rest of the chapters. So that hopefully by next week I'll be fully caught up with the series. So look forward to that. So without further ado, let's get into Akane-Banashi Chapter 12. The Dreamer, with story by Yuki Suwanaga and art by Takamasa Moe, with translation by Stephen Paul and lettering by Sneer Aaron. And then we pick up with flashback for the teacher, whose name I cannot for the life of me remember, which have one of my old students appeared on TV one day. She has an O. Back in the day, he talked about how his dream was to be a comedian. I rooted for him to succeed at that dream. But it seems he quit after half a year at a comedy development agency, and now he's scraping by on odd jobs. It's like looking at the weariness in his face. And you have may I come into your house? Former comedian, age 21. And you have on the interview he's saying talent, I guess. It's like brought a pain to my chest. What more could I have done for him? It's the student who decides what they do next. Still, I must have been able to help him in some way beyond saying, yes, do that. I could have told him what I thought, even if it led to an argument. As a teacher, I must be responsible with what I say. That's what I tell myself. And he's here now, back in the present, as she's watching Akane on the stage. And there was once a priest at a Buddhist temple who was not feeling well. He visited the doctor to see what was wrong. And you have the landlady going, she seems much more relaxed than the last time. She's improved. By the way, wise one, do you happen to have tenshiki? Tenshiki? Well, I guess I'd have to say no. It's like, in fact, the priest did not understand what tenshiki meant. Tenshiki. The priest was too proud to admit that he did not know what tenshiki was. It's like, do you have tenshiki? I'd have to say no. Despite acting confident, it was a question regarding his own body and health. So he simply had to find out what tenshiki was. And he goes, hey, Chin-Chin, what happened to your tenshiki? I know I gave you a lesson about it ages ago. And one of the little temple initiates, I guess, little kid goes, huh? I don't remember. So, well, you'd better go and find out then. So he sent the apprentice Chinen out to learn what tenshiki was. And you have the kid going, doctor, what's tenshiki? It's like, oh, tenshiki? It means flatulence. Spatulas? Flatulence. It's farts, my boy. And you see Jumbo out in the crowd just laughing. He's like, farts? It's like, it's been a while since I've seen Akane perform Rakugo. It's like, it comes from a very old book on medicine called the Shanghai Lun. It's like, she's like a totally different person now. She must have put so much work in since the last time. And he flashes back to her, or a conversation they have. It's like, I said tenshiki because I didn't want to ask a learned and genteel priest, are you farting? And this is him apparently taking a video of her performing so she can, I guess, like perfect her pose and everything. It's like, what do you think? Perfect shot, right? It's like, it's awful. It's like, what? Look, see that? Chinnen's line of sight is all over the place. It's like, but that's not that bad, is it? It is that bad. The audience used Chinnen's gauge to imagine the doctor's size and the distance between the two. This is not helping them. So it really does feel different when someone's watching. One more time, just one more. It's like, fine. I think if I were Akane, I would have turned my back on Rakugo. The story about Akane's dad being expelled was so shocking it made the news. There were cries of outrage over that old man's actions. God, I love that face. Just so evil with that grin. Yeah, hearing that you think it's like Yotara on Twitter is like, hearing that he even expelled his friend's pupils just makes me want to see Isho Arakawa's Rakugo more. It's like, but it also drew interest in Isho Arakawa's Rakugo. Ethics cannot overcome emotional impact. And you see the audience just being like blown away by his Rakugo. It's like, over time, the criticism turned to defense and then praise, until you had people saying that the expulsion controversy was legendary. It even made me mad. But despite all of that, Akane still chose to become a Rakugoka. It's like, I just realized, I bet Master doesn't know what Tenshiki means. Well, I'll give him the wrong answer. It's like I can't begin to guess how much feeling went into that decision. It's not something you do on a whim. And you have, Master, I found out that Tenshiki refers to a sake cup. It's like, sake cup? Yes, that's right. I did give you a lesson about that once. And you see the teacher going, I stand at the front of the classroom every day so I know how difficult it is to convey things to others. The nerves that come with speaking before an audience. Oh, doctor, remember when you asked if I had Tenshiki and I said no? Well, it slipped my mind. As a matter of fact, it's again to do it all alone, using nothing but your voice. It's like, I have a weakness for Tenshiki. I love it. And Akane just shocked, like, you love Tenshiki? It's like to make your audience laugh. It's like, this is not an act that you can pick up in a day. It's like, at first I think I saw him in Akane. I thought she was only indulging in a dream. And choosing a career in something as obscure as Rakugo, I can't sign off on this. And she goes, you were right all along. Unless you want to judge her future without seeing what she's so passionate about. But that would be myopic, wouldn't it? So I still have a lot to learn too. You see the guidance counseling office that you have, I see. So you can also walk the walk. She goes, she's put for the first, second, and third choices Raku, Go, and Ka for all three spots. It's like, yes, ma'am. I'll sit through as many hours of guidance counseling as you need to give me. And she's silent before she goes, aren't you worried? It's like, worried? It's like, we're not going to college. You're severely limiting your range of potential careers. The path that you've chosen to pursue might end up hurting you in the end. Are you sure you're okay with that? You're not worried? It's like, no, not at all. It's like, then I guess it was a pointless question. I accept your survey sheet. Make sure you thank Ozaki later. It's like, huh? Oh! It's like, I knew it. You were at the Rakugo Cafe yesterday. The swish, she pulls out a flyer with student Rakugo Karaku Tokyo. It's like, what is this? It's like, it's a flyer for a Rakugo competition for students. They sent one to our school. It can't hurt to have another feather in your cap, right? Why not enter that one? Especially because the head judge is none other than Isho Arakawa. Yes. He's his grim face just peering out from the flyer. Oh, that's good. That's so good. Oh, alright. Quick thoughts on the chapter. So, yeah, like I said, the teacher stuff is a little bit too tropey for me, with the teacher being like, oh yeah, you know, like blah blah. It's all like one of my other students experiencing failure and didn't want Akane to go on like the same path. You know, I saw her passion and her talent. Like, it changed me. Like, I'm not gonna like rag on the series form because a lot of them do that, but I don't. Again, feels like it didn't feel like it really adds a lot to the story. It felt like more like an intermission to kind of segue or introduce the Rakugo competition that's coming up. But yeah, apart from that, the chapter on the whole was really entertaining. Again, I don't think I give enough credit for the art by Moe-san in this. Kind of the way, especially when they draw the Rakugo scenes, where it's done kind of like in the older style that you would see on like the paintings and the scrolls and things. With regards to the storytelling and like the little kind of text box accents as well. I really appreciate. Also really love, like, because you are, given that, you know, they've even pointed out in this, like, Rakugo is a very vocal entertainment form. Like, it relies on vocal performance above anything else. So it's kind of a hard thing to kind of translate into written comic form and kind of like get the effects across fully. But I feel like with the pacing of the dialogue and everything else, and with like enhancing it with like, you know, the little drawing images, getting you to like trying to imagine like what characters they're portraying and everything, I think that does a lot to kind of deepen the impact of the storytelling, even though you lose the vocal aspect of it. So really appreciate those little touches. Also, like, you know, we get the little kind of nods to like how much effort Akane has been putting into Rakugo, like you're working on, you know, getting her posture right, getting her, eyesight right, like learning how to basically considering how the audience would see and react to her performances and trying to like perfect them to give them like the optimal performance from Rakugo performance. So I really appreciate that. I fucking love that smug shit eating grin on Isho Arakawa's face when he's doing the Rakugo and his performance is just getting sold out and he's just looking so fierce and you can see like the audience literally just being blown back and intimidated by the sheer weight of his presence. Like I love me a good asshole character and it looks like Isho is going to deliver on that. So I can't wait to see more of him. And I'm getting really excited for the tournament arc, especially to see Akane kind of pitch her skills and talent against more of her gender. Because right now, like the only people we've really seen her interact with are like the seniors that she knows. We haven't really seen anyone interact. We haven't seen her interact with anyone that's still kind of like at the apprentice level that she is, and kind of trying to rise their way to the top. So I'm hoping that this arc will kind of lead into that. Will give her kind of I don't want to say comrades because that is kind of like what her seniors are, but like more, yeah, but give her comrades probably that are possibly closer to her age range will be like her actual rivals in a bit to become Shinichis. So yeah, really looking forward to that. I think the last few chapters are kind of a little bit lackluster, but I feel like the pace is picking up again. So yeah, we'll get into it. So like I mentioned at the beginning, expect up to at least chapter 15 today, and then throughout the week I'll try to catch up with the rest of the chapters as well. As always, if you like my content, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, because it really does help me out a lot. And until next time, this is Ash. I will talk to you all later.